guess there will be a real question as to what the administration wants to invest in, what a Republican-led Congress wants to invest in, and then if they can come to a meeting of the minds on budgets generally, much less for something like this. Do you get the sense that the Trump administration is willing to invest in agriculture and in new technologies, new developments along those lines?
I certainly thought it was interesting that our new Secretary, Sonny Perdue, disowned his own budget proposal, having the budget director say it was composed before he was confirmed, which is true. So he's already signaling a discomfort with what was proposed. So I know that the secretary is a doctor of veterinary science, he's a governor, and he must have had lots of interaction with some great schools down in Georgia, some great researchers. So I am optimistic. I think it's that important that I'm not going to be anything else.
Do we have a sense of where the United States will be in terms of global leadership in agriculture, development, sustainability over the next 10 years? We're certainly seeing the Trump administration pull back on some leadership roles in the international sphere in other realms. What's the future for our relationship with the developing world and also big agriculture countries that are pushing forward with technology? Dr. Bohman, do you have a sense of that?
Well, I won't speak about the politics, but we do see that it's a global world for food and agriculture. Technologies developed in one country are quickly spread to another. And people, observe how things are working and not working. Now, there's still a great disparity in the yields, like how much corn you get per acre in Africa versus the US. So there's a lot of room for technical assistance, and the US, including colleagues that I have in the Ag Research Service, are working with countries around the world to improve their technology and learn things that'll help us better manage pests and diseases in the US. So right now we're part of a global ag system, and I do think the nature of food and agriculture and the crops we grow around the world are a big driver of keeping an international focus.
Dr. Merrigan.
So I will say one of the heartbreaking things for me in the president's budget proposal was zeroing out the McGovern-Dole program. That to me was a perfect moment of bipartisanship, of great men who had visions. And it's a really important program around the world, particularly for girls, to get them to school. Sorry, it helps it's a school lunch program for other countries that we invest in. And so I think that as we move forward in the new administration, I was in an international meeting the day the Paris decision was announced. I was one of 3 or 4 Americans in a room full of 50 people from around the world. We do need to be thinking about our stature as a global leader and what's really at jeopardy when we make some of these one-off decisions.
I can't let you go without addressing some news of the day. Our colleague Caitlin Dewey, who you'll see on stage in just a few minutes, reported earlier today that the FDA has announced it's delaying indefinitely the launch of these nutrition fact labels, which are showing calorie count in big, bold letters, giving information about added sugars. What happens next with this?
It's just kicking the can down the road, as I understand it, in terms of the implementation date. There's no news from FDA as to when it will have to finally go into effect, the new nutrition fact label. But the reality is there are big companies and grocery manufacturers association that are ready to meet the 2018 deadline that was originally expected, and they may go forward and do it. Right now, is a time when we're seeing industry step up in a way that we've never seen before. They're hearing from their consumers, their customers, that they want different products in the marketplace, different levels of transparency and identity preservation, and the companies want to deliver for them.